Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's reading is advice from your guides. Hopefully, these messages can align with your intuition and make sense to you guys if it's for you. But we have 3 groups for you to choose from: group 1, group 2, and group 3. Please feel free to pause the video if you need extra time to choose your group, but I will see you guys in your readings. Hey, welcome. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing good. So to start off with, actually, I'm going to get all the cards out now. So we have Ace of Pentacles and the World, both in reverse. We have Bathroom, Flush away all that no longer serves you. We also have Angel, tap into your higher wisdom. And Live in the Moment, Bless your heart, and revealing your true self. Okay, so starting off with your tarot cards, it feels like your guides are encouraging you to reevaluate your goals, maybe seeing if there are other routes to get there. Maybe you're still figuring out what your goals should be, and your guides are encouraging you to, continue to figure out what that is, or reevaluating current goals if that makes more sense to you. But you're being advised not to put figuring it out on the back burner, or like try not to avoid it. For some of you, you could be thinking of making a financial purchase. Maybe this is like a significant purchase for some of you guys. But your guides are actually advising you to put it off for a little while. And for some of you, this could be something that kind of aligns with what your intuition has already been telling you. This could be something you already know is best, so please only take that message if it resonates. But yeah, your guides are encouraging you to avoid rushing into things right now. And this could be when it comes to people specifically. Your guides are advising you to find a routine. And by having this routine, it could help you figure some things out. Your guides are also encouraging you to consider where you're spending your time right now, whether you're spending it productively or spending it on the right things, or adjusting your time so that you're able to fit other things in. Your guides are also advising you not to ignore red flags, not to ignore like warning, like try to not brush it off, or like kind of just seeing red flags for what they are, whether that's from people, whether that's opportunities, whether that's within yourself. But your guides are encouraging you not to ignore them. Your guides are also trying to encourage you to heal or let go of scarcity thinking and believing more in your ability to manifest what you want. Or for some of you, reassessing your relationship with money. Your guides could also be advising you to not expect quick wins. They could also be advising you to clear clutter, but this feels emotional. For some of you, it could be in your environment, it could be mental clutter, but this feels like emotional clutter for some of you guys, okay? And some of your guys are also advising you to maybe revisit a past opportunity, maybe an opportunity that you lost interest in prematurely. But this could help you in some way by revisiting something that you may have lost interest in. So avoid, your guides also want to advise you to avoid overcommitting or overextending yourself. And this isn't necessarily advice, but your guides could be trying to protect you from someone right now, especially if there's been delays in a certain, with a certain person, maybe interruptions. Your guides want you to trust that these delays are them trying to protect you, Your guides are also advising you to recommit to any spiritual goals you may have had. They're also encouraging you to tie up any loose ends before starting something new. It could be little things like projects, chores, things around the house, maybe with your work, or it could be referring to something bigger. But your guides just really want you to trust in your ability to see things through, Your guides also are advising you to accept that not all endings are going to be perfect, clean, and make sense, and to kind of accept, that sometimes endings are, messy, and you're not always maybe going to get the answers or, the outcome that you want. So your guides do want you to also release perfectionism in general and kind of focus on progress instead. They are also advising you to separate who you are now from who you were in the past. Maybe there needs to be like a clearer transition in past you and who you are now. Your guides are also advising you to maybe let go of things that are outdated, whether that's perspectives, identities, or roles. And they also really want you to reintegrate lessons you've learned in the past. You could know what lessons these are already. It could maybe click for you someday soon, or it could be something you need to meditate on and reflect to see what past lessons could help you or guide you now. And it also feels like your guides are encouraging you to visualize more about the things that you think are unattainable for you. So keep visualizing, keep putting yourself in those scenarios that you think are unattainable until it feels real, until it feels like it's something that you can attain. And finally, your guides also want to advise you to visualize your next chapter and what that actually looks like. And this could go back to you reevaluating your goals, okay? So moving on to the rest of these cards now. So with Angel, tap into your higher wisdom. It feels like your guides are advising you to make wise choices, even if that means you take a little bit of time to, think those choices and decisions over before making them. But your guides really want you to act in a way that is wise. With bathroom, flush away all that no longer serves you. It also feels like your guides are advising you to make a clean break with who you were in the past. Like for some of you, this could be something you already know that you don't want to go back to, something you don't want to repeat, and your guides could see that, and maybe they don't want you to, go back to that either, and they kind of just really want you to make a clean break, even though obviously it's not that simple, but yeah, maybe metaphorically they want you to. And with bless your heart, it says reach out for emotional and spiritual support to help heal and mend your heart. So it also feels like your guides are advising you to really take care of your emotional and your mental health. They're advising you to live in the moment as well. And finally, with revealing your true self, your guides are encouraging you to be true to yourself, okay, and to show not even people, it doesn't have to have anything to do with people, but just be true to you. Let me see if this related to a specific situation. And it feels like a lot of you would get a lot more opportunities if you kind of maybe went out into the world being more authentic to the real you. But that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I mean, I really do hope these messages can be helpful. With messages like these, I always hope, with all the messages actually that come through in my readings, I really do hope that they align with your intuition and maybe something that you already, knew, if that makes sense. And yeah, but that is all I have for you guys. I really do hope it could be helpful. I'm wishing you the best, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Please take care. Bye. Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's reading is what advice do your guides have for you? Okay, so if you've chosen the second group, then this reading could be for you. So we have the Two of Swords upright and the Justice card in reverse. I'll also pull out these other cards as well. So we have be mindful of the messages you send. We have family, explore your sacred root system. And we have turn over a new page. And own your own divine power. Replace codependent people pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. We also have busy times and multitasking. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being so busy, okay? But I will start off by reading the tarot cards first, all right? So, advice your guides may have for you. So for some of you, this may not be for everyone, but for some of you, you're being advised to not rush into making a decision and to weigh your options carefully. Maybe ask someone for advice or do some more of your own research, or if there is like a professional or someone with a lot of experience in the area that you need to make a decision, maybe seeking those people out, whether in real life or online or through, email, I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, you're being advised to weigh the pros and cons upon making any important decisions at the moment. Think carefully before, possibly making decisions out of fear or guilt. Maybe avoid making decisions out of fear and guilt. Your guides are also encouraging you to rely on your intuition right now, as well as your logic. But for some of you, this is more so putting an emphasis on using your intuition more than logic, if that makes sense. You're also being encouraged to reconnect with your values, and this is so, it feels like this could be to like help guide the choices that you make by reconnecting with your values. Your guides are also advising you not to isolate yourself right now. Try not to avoid issues as well, but they do want you to try and avoid gossip. They definitely want you to protect your energy from manipulation and other influences. They are advising you not to just take someone's word for it. Check in with yourself, do your own research, but don't just take something for what it is, whether that be, from other people or what you read or what you see. But yeah, your guides are also encouraging you to take small steps to avoid, stifling any progress. Like, just take small steps. Small steps will eventually lead to something much bigger. So they kind of just want you to, take those baby steps. Your guides are also advising you to listen to how your body feels and reacts in certain situations, environments, with different people, within certain conversations. And this could tie into you relying a lot more on your intuition, as you could learn a lot more by trusting your intuition at this time. But yeah, your guides are also advising you to do what's right for you, to not focus on trying to please someone else or just please other people in general. Your guides also want you to trust that you will get clarity if you don't force it. For those of you who are trying to seek clarity. Your guides are also advising you to try and reflect on where fairness is lacking in your life, whether that's, fairness is lacking towards you, or whether maybe you're lacking fairness towards other people or other things. Although for a lot of you, this does feel like maybe directed towards you, and maybe you're not being treated fairly, and your guides maybe want you to see the areas where you're not being treated fairly and what you can do to balance the scales and correct that. So for some of you in the near future, you could need to let someone or people take responsibility for their actions. Try not to dismiss things that these people should be accountable for. Your guides are also advising you to be honest with yourself about your motives and other people's motives. For some, like, your guides really want you to not justify questionable behavior. Try not to ignore injustice. Address it calmly and clearly. There's also a message for some of you guys, maybe in the near future. They're maybe advising you to be careful when making a contract or when entering into a contract. Also advising you to seek clarity in legal matters. But your guides really want you to advocate for yourself right now, in general, or if you're being treated unfairly, like speak up for yourself. Your guides also want you to reconsider relationships that lack a mutual respect. For some of you, your guides are also advising you to let someone face their consequences, avoid denial, see things as they are. And your guides also want to encourage you to avoid making any assumptions as well. Okay, so moving on to these messages now. So with family, explore your sacred root system. Your guides are advising you to work on your stability. For some of you, this is specifically your root chakra, if that is something you align with. But your guides want you to work on grounding yourself or unblocking, certain areas within your body, as this could, be causing, increased distractions, You know, it could cause mental clutter and confusion, maybe even feeling exhausted or just being quite lethargic, you know, increased feelings of anxiety, depression, maybe stress, or just a feeling of being stuck and, you know, not being able to take action. So for some of you, working on unblocking your root chakra, or just working on grounding yourself and, you know, being more balanced, could help unblock these things if that's something that you are experiencing. Okay, so with email, we have be mindful of the messages you send. But I feel like a similar message came out earlier. I could be wrong. But your guides are advising you to, for some of you, I mean, it could be about the messages you send, but again, it feels like more so about you being mindful of the messages that you read, maybe the information that you read and that you see, and just kind of being mindful of that. So with Own Your Divine Power, your guides could also be advising you to release any codependent or, you know, people pleasing, and instead advising you to be assertive and, you know, just feel more empowered. So with Turn a New Page, it also feels like your guides are encouraging you to do just that, to turn a new page. And it also feels like this is in reference with the Six of Pentacles in reverse coming out. I feel like this is about an imbalance when it comes to give and take within your life, within your relationship, and to really, you know, change those dynamics where there is unfairness, where there is, you know, an imbalance. All right. And finally, with busy times and multitasking, it feels like they're advising you to readjust maybe your schedule, to accommodate for maybe having to multitask or having a busier schedule than usual. For some of you, you could be coming into a busy period and your guides are advising you to kind of, you know, create the space, or, you know, let me see. Yeah, finding the space or getting in the right mindset to adjust or accommodate for that. But that is all I have for those of you who chose the second group. I really do hope it could be helpful and make sense. And with these kind of readings, I mean, with most of my readings, all of my readings, I really do hope that it aligns with your intuition and maybe things that you know, already knew, and stuff like that. Okay, but I'm wishing you guys the best. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Please take care. Bye. Hi, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you for joining me. If you've chosen the third group, then this reading could be for you. What advice do your guides have for you? Okay, so to start off with, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse. I'll also get these cards out as well. We have Doctor, Heal Yourself. We have Color, Express Your True Feelings. We also have Celebrate Yourself, Unconventional, and Be Gentle with Yourself. Okay, so it feels like your guides are advising you to limit a reliance that you have on others for support, or on a certain person you have for support. And it just feels like they're really advising you to believe in yourself and the power that you have to support yourself in, you know, many different ways. Your guides also want you to find what success means and looks like for you and reconnect with your inner sense of self-worth, you know. Your guides are also advising you to simplify your lifestyle in some way, maybe your day-to-day responsibilities. It feels like they want you to have fewer distractions. It could make decision making easier. It could give you clarity, confidence in yourself and what you want. And it could also help you feel bold and generally just reduce clutter, you know, whether that's mental, physical, emotional. And simplifying could also create space for expansion, whether that's emotional, mental, physical, or it could just be referring to like a general sense of growth. So it also feels like they're advising you to simplify your lifestyle so that you can live strategically and intentionally, so that most of your choices support your bigger picture. They're also advising you to make small and consistent effort and, you know, take small consistent actions in the different areas of your life, possibly the areas that really needs and is wanting for some growth. Okay, so for some of you, your guides do want you to be mindful of burnout and, you know, doing what you can to avoid burning out. And your guides are also advising you to avoid looking for quick fixes or, you know, instant gratification. They're also advising you to tighten up on some of your boundaries. And that could be specifically related to relationships, but it could also be referring to something that, you know, obviously makes more sense to you. But your guides are advising you to, you know, continue practicing gratitude daily for what you have, to avoid comparing your journey to others, and just generally reclaiming your independence and autonomy, you know. They're advising you not to feel guilty about self-care, independence, or solitude. For some, your guides are encouraging you to revisit a past goal, maybe one that was abandoned too soon, or they're advising you to not abandon something you're doing now too soon. They are encouraging you to really rely on your intuition a lot more. And this could also be another benefit of simplifying your lifestyle. It could again reduce clutter so that you are able to, you know, really listen to your intuition. But your guides are encouraging you to really make your environment a nurturing space, a beautiful space, comfortable, calm, like making it your, you know, your haven. Your guides are advising you not to hold yourself back from feeling fully, you know, feel how you want to feel how you need to feel in, you know, given moments. Your guides could also be encouraging you to use your creative outlets a lot more. For some of you, this could be as a way to express yourself. They also are encouraging you to connect more with nature, maybe specifically water for some of you guys. Your guides are also advising you to give support, but they want you to do that without losing yourself in the process. You know, they want you to continue to use your empathy to heal if you can, but try not to absorb. You know, your guides could really want you to work on that. And your guides are also encouraging you to replenish your emotional well and your, you know, really take care of your emotional well-being. So moving on to the surrounding cards. So with Doctor, heal yourself, kind of similar to the message that came out just a moment ago. Like some of you could just be a very healing presence and, you know, person for people. Maybe it's a part of your work. Maybe this is something, you know, coming back to empathy. Maybe this is something that you've, you know, always had, but you could be very healing. And your guides want you to, you know, continue being you, continue, you know, doing you in terms of the healing work that you may do. But also, again, coming back to the message that we just said, like, also remember to replenish your own emotional well-being in the process, just to avoid burning out, avoid, you know, taking on too much and stuff like that. And with color, express your true feelings. This message came out earlier as well, but your guides do want you to honor how you feel, to yeah, to feel how you need to feel. Don't, you know, limit yourself in what you're allowed to feel, if that makes sense. And with be gentle with yourself, for some of you, please only take this as if it makes sense. But your guides are advising you to be as gentle with yourself as you are with other people or with certain people in your life. Kind of show yourself that same love, that same care and gentleness. And to generally not be too hard on yourself. Your guides want you to stop doing that, okay? So for some of you as well, please only take this if it makes sense. But with this card here, be gentle with yourself. Your guides are also advising you to continue to heal from something. Like, you know, sometimes when you're on a healing journey, you're like, yeah, I feel like I've healed enough from that or that experience or whatever it may be. But your guides kind of want to point out and advise you that there's still a little bit of healing that may need to be done, or kind of just sitting with what you've learned through that process of healing, just so it like kind of soaks in and like the lessons and the messages soak in as well. Just so that you really don't undo your progress, if that makes sense. Your guides are also advising you to celebrate yourself, celebrate those small wins. And with unconventional, your guides are also advising you not to hide what makes you unique, what makes you different. But that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I really do hope it could be helpful and make sense. I'm wishing you guys the best. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully I will see you again soon, okay? Please take care. Bye.